Started, and Erica is not feeling well, so she is going to record for us, and she's going to just like chill. But she and I talked earlier today about what she had planned to share tonight in addition to what I had planned to share, and we were both kind of on the same page, so it works out. And then we had talked about maybe asking somebody else to share a couple things too. And so I asked Sarah to share at the end about something that we learned about at Marketing Impact Academy. We have lots of nuggets to share from that throughout, I don't know, the next few weeks. And we thought that one in particular really piggybacks off of what Erica and I had already planned on speaking about tonight. So she's going to share about that. The first thing I want to do is our shout outs. So this week I am shouting out Melissa Cox because she has a 1-month-old baby and just started back on her personal fitness journey. And she has also already started helping people. She sold her first challenge pack. I think last week it was when her and I were texting back and forth. I also want to shout out Mindy because Mindy did a phenomenal job on the leadership call last week. If you guys weren't on that, you need to make it a goal to be on that next time. But she broke down how to maximize your income and how to use your husband's position in your business to the best, like to maximize everything, your income, your volume, just everything. And she broke it down in a really easy to understand way and did such a good job showing us on her board as well as just explaining it. So I wanted to shout her out for that. And Erica wants me to shout out for her Lisa Garman for being a rock star in the 80-Day Obsession group and being a product of the product, and for just generally having really good posts, adding a lot of value. You're welcome, Mindy. So I'm just going to jump right in because this is something that we all talk about a lot, and it's been something that people have started asking a lot of questions about because there's right ways to do this and really wrong ways to do it. And I know that we've all seen the wrong ways being done. And even to this day, sometimes I will see somebody do it the wrong way and I'm like, oh, I should do that. No, I shouldn't do that. Oh, but I kind of want to. And then I have to like talk myself out of it. So we're talking about using groups on Facebook to help to grow your network, expand your network, connect with more people, and just kind of keep, adding those friends every day on Facebook and that kind of thing, and how you can use Facebook groups to do that. But I know that we're all in these yard sale groups on Facebook and we all see people all the time being like sharing pictures and being like, drink this tea and lose 60 pounds, or, like use this and this will happen, or call me if you want leggings, or whatever it is. And every time I see that, I'm like, oh, I get like this gut check, like, I should do that. It's easy. It's quick. And they just did it, so I can do it. It means it's okay. And then I'm like, no, God, like I have this sick feeling when I see that post. Other people have that feeling too. I can't do that. So not just talking about the sales pages as far as groups go, but talking about lots of groups that are available to us on Facebook tonight. But really kind of talking about the do's and don'ts in those groups and some ways that Erica and I have found success in networking within groups. So moving people from groups, maybe to our friend on Facebook, into our challenge group, or into an invite to the coaching opportunity, that kind of thing. So again, with the sales sites, I want to make this like the number one thing you take away. If you don't get anything else out of this call tonight, this is what I want you to remember. Do not post in yard sale sites about what you're doing. Don't post in there about our Glance webinar. Don't post in there about the sale that's coming up or your transformation pictures. It's just not the place for that. So don't do that. I don't believe that if you're trying to make connections, I don't believe the sale groups are really a place to spend a lot of your time. I think you'd be wasting your time. So really, unless you're looking to buy something, I wouldn't even be in those groups because you're probably going to find yourself scrolling them instead of working. The next number 2 thing I want you to take away is don't join all these fitness groups. The reason I say that is because if you start to dig a little deeper, there's a really good chance that they're being run by a Beachbody coach, and that Beachbody coach is not you. So it would be really silly for you to spend a whole lot of time trying to network and build relationships with people who are either maybe already working with a coach or who are already being formed by the coach who started that group. Now, I'm not saying you can't. Like, there are some fitness groups on Facebook that have thousands of people in them. And for sure, whatever coach started that group is not going to be able to build a relationship with all of them. And we all know there's a reason why people come to us. They connect with us for whatever. Maybe it's because of the way we talk when we post, or maybe it's because we have one child instead of three, or maybe it's because we have similar careers, or, you know, something happened. We grew up in a similar place or something like that. There's always going to be those exceptions. But as a general rule, if another Beachbody coach has created a group, you're probably wasting time trying to build relationships within that group because that coach is already doing it. It's also kind of shady. I mean, there are ways to go about it without being shady, but if that's your intent in the group, I would find a group that's not run by a Beachbody coach. And I say not necessarily fitness for the same reasons that we hear people say don't just use fitness hashtags on Instagram. If you're hashtagging 21 Day Fix, or if you're in a group that's for 21 Day Fix, chances are you're networking and reaching people that are already doing 21 Day Fix. Whether they be coaches or challengers, they're probably already involved in some way. If they're in that group, or if they're looking up that hashtag, there's a good chance that that's why. Again, I just think that you need to think outside your box. Yes, we all love fitness. That's why we're coaches. We're all interested in nutrition. That's why we're coaches, and we're all on our own journey, but there's other things we have going on in our lives that really give us a lot of opportunity to network and connect with other women, or men, whatever, but with other people. And those are the things you really need to be focusing on, like your little niche. So some examples. Erica and I were brainstorming examples that she's in and that I'm in earlier today. So I wanted to share a couple that I took from our text messages and just that I had already written down on my own. So she's in groups like Parents of Only Children, Moms of Boys. She's in an acid reflux group and a GERD group. I'm in a couple teaching groups. You could be in your local moms group, a breastfeeding group, single parenting groups. Right now I'm in a group just for people who are planning a Disney trip. I'm in a group that is just for people who like Ray Dunn pottery. And I realize these sound, Jackie just said she's in a twin mom group. I know some of these sound like, why does that matter? Like, great, that's nice that you like Ray Dunn, or it's nice that, you know, Erica has acid reflux or whatever, or you're planning a Disney trip. But those are the ways you start to build connections. You build relationships when you and someone else are at a similar path in your life. Colleen's saying that she's in groups from when her babies were born. Oh, so there's like April 2014 group, September 2016 group. That's so cool. I'm going to look up and see if there's one for my kiddos. Very good. I didn't even know those existed. But I realized they have nothing to do with nutrition or fitness or anything like that. But the way we get to introduce people to that part of our life is by building a relationship focused around another part of our life. And this doesn't mean like being the girl in the group who's like, drinking my shake today, like things like that. You don't want to do that. Like, there's this one girl in one of my Ray Dunn groups who clearly does ketones. And I don't know, maybe I notice it because I know about this, but I don't know if other people pick up on it too. But she'll like mix up something. It's like cream cheese and other junk in one of her Ray Dunn bowls. And she'll be like, this keto friendly, I don't know what she's eating, something or other. And I'm always like, girl, so obvious. Stop being salesy. She's like, it tastes even better out of my Ray Dunn bowl. And I'm like, I bet it does. But don't be that guy. Because even if other people, not everybody's picking up on it, a couple people are. And it's weird. I don't know. It's just not, Not cool. Um, but these are places. So like, for example, I'm going to use Ray Dunn because for me recently, it's really given me a lot of new connections. And again, I know that sounds really, really crazy, but it's this group of women who all have a similar interest, and we're all kind of working together to help each other find the pieces to their collections that they really want. So like, for example, today I met this random person who I would have never met at a Food Lion, and gave her one mug that she wanted in exchange for a mug that I wanted. And it seems so simple, right? But then when she got home, she messaged me on Facebook to thank me so much because she loves the mug, and was telling me that she was having her husband hang shelves up in her kitchen. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me see. I want to see how you're displaying it. So then she sent me a picture. So then I sent her a picture of my display, and blah, 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 blah. Now we're friends on Facebook just from all that today. And again, that seems really silly. And no, I'm not going to message her tomorrow or next week and say, hey, you want to come to my webinar? I'm going to just continue posting and showing up the way I do. And eventually our conversations will organically go that path. That's how you start to build those relationships and make those connections. And yeah, it all started over a mug that says Happy Spring. But look where it could take me in a couple months. Look where it could take her in a couple months. She could be so much healthier, and her family could benefit from that. She also owns a photography business. And I was like, I started looking through some of her pictures and said, oh my gosh, I love how you took all those family photos with their pets. That's so cool. We have 2 dogs. And so now we're talking about that. Like, again, I realize it all seems really silly and not important. And it isn't to everybody, but it is to us. And so we have that connection now. If you're a breastfeeding mom and you're in a breastfeeding group and you're struggling and someone else is struggling, holy cow, the connection. When I share about my postpartum depression, you would not believe the women who message me and say, thank you so much. I thought I was alone. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was going crazy. And it really helps when you make those connections on that more intimate level and share that. And sometimes the things that we're going through, or the things that we want to share in regards to like breastfeeding or single parenting, or I don't know, little things like that. Like if you're really struggling with behavior, oh my gosh, my child had a really bad couple weeks there for a while, and I was like texting people all the time trying to figure out if he was normal. Those are things you may not want to post on your public Facebook, like, is my 4-year-old normal, or do I need to like get him in therapy now? But you might in a mom's group, like, my 4-year-old is driving me insane. I'm pretty sure I'm the worst mom ever. That would be okay to share in a group, but maybe not so much on your Facebook page where grandma and grandpa are thinking that you're ruining your child's life. So just be aware of that. Like, know what to share and where to share it, and understand that, like, even the simplest thing, like asking questions about where's a good place to take my kids when it's raining, that's local, or where's the best Santa Claus pictures, who does Christmas minis, who does Valentine's Day pictures, where do you take your kids to get their haircuts, where, like, all those little questions that get conversation going, you can ask them on your public Facebook page, and that's great. But you're just going to continue networking with the people you're already networked with if you do that. If you plug it into a group where everyone in that group has that common interest, you're going to start networking with people that you're not already plugged into. And that's really going to expand your market in a whole new way. Now, with all that said, I am not saying go friend every single person you talk to in a group, because we know there are crazy people on the internet, and we don't want all of them seeing the pictures of our kids and all that stuff. So just be cautious. Make sure that your conversations are really leading you down that path. Make sure you're comfortable. I'm not saying that you have to have 5,000 friends at the end of the year, and you have to friend every single person who comments on your picture in a group or anything like that. But I am saying that if you are trying to network and you're trying to expand your business and you're using Facebook groups to do that, it is important to move them from just being connected in the group to being connected on that bigger level by being friends on Facebook, mainly because then you can really see pieces of their life and they can really start to see pieces of your life. And if you're doing the vital behaviors, you're showing up every day, posting on your social media about feeling good, what you're doing, what you're eating, how amazing our tribe is, all those things. And that's going to pop up in their feed and they're going to be like, this chick is really positive, like annoyingly positive. Kind of need some of that in my life. Like they're gonna eventually want in, and they're gonna ask you a question about it, and that's just gonna lead you down a fantastic little rabbit hole that you can take them on. I again want to reiterate: do not use. I would in fact not advertise at all that you're a coach in any way, shape, or form within the group. For example, if somebody's saying, like, I'm in a mom's group, and one of the women was saying that their 3-year-old had recently just been horrible behavior-wise. They thought they might need to be tested for ADHD, and they definitely needed medication, and they were refusing to eat, blah, blah, blah. And so I just, I had already had a couple interactions with the woman, and so I commented on that post saying, do I have permission to message you privately? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So I did, and that's when I said, I have these samples of Daily Sunshine. I know that you said that your child is not behaving well, and it could be some type of deficiency since they're not eating everything that you think they should be eating. If you want to try this and see if they like it, it's kind of like a milkshake. I'll send it to you. And I did. And she's since had another baby. And so now we're friends on Facebook and we're connected that way. And I'm, supporting her through this she's now got 3 children and one's an infant. And now we're connected that way. And she sees me showing up all the time. So we can start conversations through that. Like I know it's hard to understand when we see someone like Raina or someone like Lindsay Matway or whoever, it sometimes can be a little bit difficult to conceptualize how their business is run, because it feels like people just come to them. And people do come to them because they spend the majority of their working hours networking the way I'm explaining. There's Instagram stories, their posts on Facebook, they use Messenger like crazy. They are connecting with people in groups. They're hosting really large groups. They're continuously expanding and making those connections in ways that are not related to fitness. And that's why people eventually see them posting about that stuff and they do come to them. And I know that's been a frustration. We all wish that people would just come to us and we wouldn't have to invite, because we don't like inviting. And the point is, as long as you continue to nurture these relationships that you start in a Facebook group and you move them into being friends on Facebook or into a free group that you're offering or something like that, then people will start to come to you and say, what is that? What is that thing that you're doing? What is that chocolate stuff that you drink every day? That sounds really good. And that's what we want. So we want to connect with people. We want to friend carefully, and we want to continue joining groups and, making those relationships with people that are not necessarily fitness based. Just think about all the other things you have going on in your life. Like, I know that for some of us, we got started with Beachbody because we felt like all those other things defined us and we wanted something for ourselves. And now some of us feel like fitness defines us and we need to figure out what our niche is. Like it's kind of like we're backwards now, because I know I try to help people figure out their niche and they're like, I don't know, like I like to work out and that's it. And I'm like, well, do you read books? Do you there's so many things that we have. Maybe you like 90s music. There's probably a group on Facebook for 90s music. I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff, right? But something as basic as finding the date of your children's birthday and joining that group. I mean, what a connection right there, to have all these women who have children the same exact age, same exact day. I can't even imagine how close those relationships could be. I mean, Colleen, do you want to share anything about, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have anything that you would like to share that's been successful from that?
I've actually been friends a lot with a lot of them. I've been in the group since we were pregnant with them. Like I don't think I'm in any groups from when Dylan was born in 11, right? 11, yeah. But when Ryan was born in April of 2014, I joined a group and we were all pregnant together. And then we like formed a new a group, and it's a small group. I'm not really as close. I mean, there's like a small group of us. I'm Facebook friends with a lot of. Sorry, I'm friends with a lot of them, but my September board is huge. My September 16 board is like there's probably over 300 people in that group, and people are posting constantly, and I'm Facebook friends with some of them are my customers, some of them are my challenge groups now. I'm in the fit group with that, like a fit after pregnancy from that September group, also like a smaller group, and so that's been pretty helpful too. So I definitely have a lot of, we all want to get into better shape, but a lot of them now are pregnant because it was like their first when I had Christian, and me, it's my third. So I'm a little bit older than them, and they're all like pregnant, but they also see me and they're like, I cannot wait to get back into shape afterwards. So I definitely noticed that. So yeah, that's about all I have.
I think being a woman and knowing that there's always going to be this constant cycle of like pregnant friends, postpartum friends, friends trying to get pregnant, it makes you realize that no matter where you are in your journey, there's always going to be someone who needs you. Like it's not like buying necklaces and eventually, they're going to be out of style and nobody's going to buy them anymore. It's nice. All right, I am going to pass the baton to Sarah and let her share a little bit about something we learned about called breadcrumbing. I know we've talked about it a little bit as a team already, but we had some pretty big takeaways from Marketing Impact Academy. So,
Lindsay, I was going through my notes. When you asked me to talk about it earlier, I was like, sure, I can talk about that, but I don't have any notes on it. So I don't know if I missed something when I walked out. But I can just share, I'll just say a couple of things that I had written down, and then Lindsay can share whatever notes I need to take that I missed. But Erica actually did a really good example of breadcrumbing. The other day, she did a super simple post. Lindsay shouted her out in the team page about how she was able to help her husband pay off his student loans. And Erica just did this super simple post about paid off Matt's loans sooner than I thought. Couldn't have done it without coaching. That was it. It was a little yay me celebration, but she also tied it to how she was able to do that. And that's just a little seed that is going to stick into people's brains, and they're like, dang, I wish I could pay off my student loans. What's this coaching thing? So when I think of breadcrumbing, I think of it to me, it really, really kind of connects or relates to curiosity marketing, which Chalene talks about a lot. But I didn't apparently get any notes from this Chalene conference. But whenever I talk to my coaches about creating curiosity and breadcrumbing, breadcrumbing to me is like you're leaving a little trail of breadcrumbs that makes people want more. So you're just giving them enough information that they're like, well, what is that chocolate shake you drink every day? Or what is that team of people that you hang out with, and what do y'all do? And so the biggest thing you don't want to do is use product names. You don't want to say 21 Day Fix, because what they talk about a lot is those, first of all, they don't mean anything to people who aren't already in the Beachbody world. So it doesn't catch their interest. And the people who are in the Beachbody world, you don't want to attract those people anyway, because most of them already have a coach or they're coaching. So you want to be more descriptive, which Erica and Lindsay have told us in lots of trainings, but I know that there's new people here. So for instance, if you're doing size, a lot of people like size and country heat. You would not say, I'm doing size, I'm on day 3 of size. You would say, I'm on day 3 of this awesome program. I don't have to lift any weights. All I have to do is get up and shake my booty, and they walk me through it. It's so much fun. It's over in 30 minutes, and I didn't even realize working out. So you want to just kind of describe what it is and how it makes you feel, and not throw in any names or logos or anything like that. I thought of another couple examples that you can create curiosity. So you can share the freedoms that coaching has given you, but also you can share like little dreams that you have, that you're working on something to make it happen. And that, like, to me is like, you know, you hear all these people talking about dreams, but when you see somebody actually working on it or achieving it, like, to me, that sparks interest, because you don't have a lot of people who have a plan and know how to do it anymore. And so people are going to want to know how you're doing that. And so the reason I brought up this example is for people who are new to coaching, or maybe you've been a hobby coach and you don't have a lot of things to like Erica, like maybe you can't say that you paid off your husband's loans, but maybe you can say, I have this dream and I have a means to make it happen. And then you can always share relationships that you have because of this, and just little, just like when we share our Zoom workouts, you know, like that is a really great breadcrumbing tool, because not many people, I mean, how many people use Zoom calls? First of all, how many people get on them to work out and have a workout fitness group in their living room in the mornings? So, and then the other thing I saw recently, I don't even know if this is technically breadcrumbing, but I saw somebody announce that they were going to go live later in the day. So I have a big announcement later, check in around 2 o'clock, because I have something I want to share with you all. Then they did another one later. Remember to join me in an hour. I'm really excited to share some news. And then at 2 o'clock, like, they talk about their new challenge group that's starting, or maybe a non-scale victory, or a financial goal they've achieved. And I thought that was a really cool little, literally like breadcrumbs leading up to the final but the final message that you want people to come to and to see. That's it.
Thank you. I think another big thing that I took away from it was, because you're breadcrumbing, you're not telling the whole story at once. Number one, people will actually read it because you didn't write a novel. But number two, you can retell that same story hundreds of times. You don't always have to have a new story to share. Because I think a lot of us get hung up on that. Like, how do I share this? Because it's really a long story. How do I break it up? Or I've already shared that, so I can't share it again. But the truth is, people are always following and not following. Facebook is constantly changing its algorithms. There's just all this stuff going on. So you can tell the same story once or twice a month, every month, and different people are going to see it every time. Especially, and if you change up your wording and you are just doing the breadcrumbs and you're not sharing the whole story. It's like when you watch a movie with your kids. I don't know about you, but the first time I watched, the Cars movie, I didn't notice one thing. And then the second time I was like, oh, I didn't see that. And then the third time it was like, oh, I didn't see that. That's the way people are also going to look and interpret your stuff that you're sharing on social media. Like, oh, I didn't know Lindsay could do that. I didn't know Erica was, using that money to pay off her husband's student loans. Like, all those little things, even though she might have shared about that 3 months ago, but they didn't see it. Before we wrap things up, I do also just want to give you one more nugget. Go live at least once a week. Facebook has changed its algorithms again, and Shalene pretty much said, like, the only thing people are seeing on Facebook anymore is live videos. And she said, absolutely do not for any reason mention going to Instagram to follow you, going to Snapchat to follow you. Don't share a video from YouTube. Don't share a video from Scary Mommy's Facebook page onto your page, because all that stuff is just, they're just like making it disappear. They're not letting your people see it. They're not letting anyone see it, because they want everybody to have their eyes on Facebook, and they want everybody to be engaging in conversation on Facebook. So when you post something, try to make sure that you're engaging conversation. I know for a long time we've said stay away from being controversial. And I'm not saying go out there and, like, I don't know, praise or disown our president, but I'm saying, like, definitely be okay with sharing things and letting people share their opinions underneath. If somebody has a really negative comment and it's not hurtful to you, it's just like maybe not agreeing with you, be okay with that, leave it there, and let all the other people start doing the arguing for you underneath. Because the more comments, the more conversation from it, Facebook is going to just, like, blow it up and have more people see it and more people coming to your page. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. And with that said, if there are no questions, we'll say goodnight, because it is just now 9 o'clock. You're welcome. Good night.